All right, let's talk about AI. We're going to bridge the gap between all this incredible, powerful technology and the actual tangible business results that every manager is on the hook to deliver. We're talking about how to turn complex tech into a real competitive advantage.
So let's just start with a number that's, well, it's pretty staggering. According to IBM Technology, we're seeing something like 11,000 new AI agents being developed every single day. Now that's an incredible wave of innovation for sure, but for a manager, that can feel like a total tidal wave of complexity coming right at you.
And this explosion of tech brings us right to the heart of the matter, doesn't it? It's the big question on every manager's mind. With all this new stuff, how do we make sure our AI projects actually move the needle, instead of just adding another layer of cost and confusion?
To answer that, we've got to avoid a really common pitfall right from the start, which is thinking that all AI is basically the same. Understanding a key difference here is the first step to really grasping both the massive opportunity and, frankly, the risks involved. Okay, so what you're seeing here is a huge shift in how we should think about this. For a while, we've had AI assistants. You give it a prompt, it gives you a response. Simple. But now we're dealing with goal-oriented AI agents. The key word there is agency. These things can actually take action on their own to achieve a goal. It's a whole different ballgame, incredibly powerful, but also potentially chaotic.
Right, because that power creates what you can think of as a chasm. If you don't have a solid plan, you end up with exactly what researchers at Anthropic are describing here. These complex systems that just end up talking to each other, spinning their wheels, and wasting a ton of time and money without actually getting anything done.
And that really is the central challenge for every leader trying to navigate this space, isn't it? How do you grab all that amazing power that AI agents offer without falling right into that chasm of inefficiency, complexity, and waste?
Well, the answer isn't some new, shiny piece of software. It's actually a battle-tested, proven engineering blueprint that has been optimizing incredibly complex systems for decades. Lean Six Sigma.
It's really a powerful one-two punch. The Lean philosophy is all about ruthlessly cutting out any step, any resource that doesn't add real value for the customer. And Six Sigma comes in with a super rigorous, data-driven way to improve and perfect the processes that do matter.
And this gives us our path forward. It's a framework called DMAIC, and it's a cornerstone of Six Sigma. It gives us a clear 5-step plan: define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Just think of these as the 5 critical phases for building our bridge to a future where AI actually works for us.
Okay, let's get into our first phase of construction. We start not with the technology, but by laying a rock-solid foundation that's grounded in our actual business reality. This part is so critical. Before you write a single line of code, before you talk to a single vendor, you have to precisely define the business process you're trying to fix. Then you measure how it works right now, the as-is state. You need clear KPIs to set a baseline. I mean, let's be real, you can't possibly know if you've improved something if you don't know where you started, right?
Okay, so with that foundation poured and measured, it is time to build the support structures. And that means we have to take a really deep analytical look at the ground we're building on, which is our current process.
And here is the absolute golden rule of this whole thing. We are not here to automate a broken process. Automating chaos just gets you faster chaos. The real goal here is to find and eliminate all the friction, the waste, and the junk that's clogging up your process today.
And Lean gives us this fantastic lens for spotting that junk, the 8 wastes. These are basically any actions that a customer gets 0 value from. Think about endless email chains for approvals, searching 3 different systems for the right data, or fixing errors from a step that happened 2 days ago. In the digital world, waiting and overprocessing are huge ones. All of it is waste that just bloats our processes.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how perfectly these old-school principles map directly onto modern AI projects. Overprocessing, that is the exact problem Anthropic was talking about, building a super complex multi-agent system for a simple task. Defects, that's just inaccurate AI output because of bad data. The parallels are just uncanny.
Okay, so we've defined our goal, we've measured our starting point, and we've analyzed and cleaned out all the waste from our process. Now, and only now, are we actually ready to finish the bridge. This is where we finally bring in the AI agents.
And because we did all that critical prep work, we're now augmenting a clean, streamlined, efficient process. We are plugging intelligent automation into a system that's already optimized. That is the secret sauce to maximizing your return on investment. So let's look at a real-world example from IBM on generating quotes. Instead of one giant AI trying to do everything, it's a team of specialists. You've got agents that pull customer data, others that check product databases, others that handle pricing and legal. Then, a final manager agent assembles all their work into the final quote. It's a perfect digital assembly line, built on a clean process where every agent is an expert at its one specific job. And finally, once that bridge is open for business, the work isn't over. This is where the control phase kicks in, turning this into a cycle of continuous improvement. We use those same KPIs we set up at the very beginning to monitor performance, making sure the AI is delivering value and always looking for the next opportunity to make the process even better.
So, if you take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this simple but incredibly powerful idea.
The most successful, highest-impact AI projects, they don't start with the fascination for the technology. They start with a deep, rigorous understanding and optimization of the business process underneath. You streamline reality first, and only then do you augment it with intelligence.
And that leaves us with one final thought. Instead of starting by asking, what cool things can AI do for us? The much better question for any manager is this: which of our core processes, once we streamline it and remove the waste, is truly ready to be supercharged by AI? The answer to that question, that's your real roadmap to success.